Hey, what's up everyone? Snowy back with another video. Hope you guys are all having a fantastic day. Today we're going to be talking about all of the challenges you're going to need to complete in Rainbow Six Extraction to 100% the game. But before we get into the video, if you guys could take a moment to drop a like and a comment, that would be fantastic. It really helps a lot. But without further ado, let's get into it. So in this game, there's going to be 42 challenges you need to complete to be able to 100% everything. The first challenge is to kill 5 apexes. These are sort of the wizardish looking enemies that are going to be present in pretty much all of your missions, probably near the 3rd subzone. This will just happen over time. You're going to run into these guys quite frequently. They have an ability that allows them to kind of dissolve into the floor and move around. They'll definitely be hard to miss, so just make sure you kill 5 of these guys. It'll happen naturally. Next up is bucket list. Complete 10 different objectives. Basically, by the time you run 4 missions in this game, you're going to automatically have this complete. So, Special Dispatch, earn at least 15,000 XP on 3 different assignments or crisis incursions. Just make sure you get to the 3rd subzone and extract in 3 of your missions, and you're easily going to make it out with well over 15,000 XP, so this one should be easy for you guys. Next up is interact with 5 different points of interest. Over time, you're going to level up your account as well as your operators. I think you're going to have to get your account level to level 8 to be able to go to at least 5 different points of interest, but these are basically just the maps that you can play on. So, police station, gardens, etc. So just visit 5 of these and you'll be able to cross this one off your list as well. Next up is kill 50 harassers or spikers. These are just pretty common enemies. You're going to be really prevalent around the 2nd subzone of your missions, so this one will happen over time too. Milestone 30 is the final account level. Basically, it's going to allow you to do every single thing in the game, all the in-game content, Maelstrom Protocol, and all the above. This one's just going to take a long time, but you guys will get there eventually, I have no doubt. If you stay diligent and play a lot, this will happen pretty quick for you as well. Next up is not on my new suit. Kill 3 enemies with a non-default uniform equipped. As you level up your account, you're going to get new uniforms for your operators. If you just equip these uniforms and kill 3 enemies, you'll cross this one off, so super easy. Next up, hit 20 enemies with melee attacks. You can also sneak up on them and assassinate them with a takedown. Should be super easy, just make sure you guys are crouching and walking around and not startling the enemies. And this one should be pretty easy for you as well. Next up is kill 15 rooters. These are also kind of similar to the spikers. They'll be pretty prevalent around the 2nd subzone, and this one will just happen over time as well. So just kill all the enemies in each map and you're eventually going to get to this one completed. Next up, earn 500,000 XP with a non-default charm equipped. So you're going to have to throw a charm on your weapon and most likely do a super hard mission or Maelstrom Protocol. This one could be pretty difficult for you guys, so definitely try to look for like a team on Discord or something, or maybe ask your friends if they can help you out. Try to get as far in Maelstrom Protocol as humanly possible, and just make sure you don't forget to equip a different charm to your weapon. That's the most important part. So next up is kill 3 different enemies in a single incursion. Just look for 3 different enemy types. You can do the breachers, grunts, spikers, pretty much anything. Just look for 3 different types of enemies and you're going to be good to go on this challenge as well. Next up is kill 300 grunts. These are pretty much like your run-of-the-mill enemies. You're going to be running into these guys everywhere you go, so just make sure you're killing them, and eventually you're going to get this one too. Next up, Mission Impossible. Extract from 30 incursions with all objectives and no one left behind. So basically, you're just gonna want to do the normal incursions, nothing crazy. The ones with 3 subzones. So and extract at the end. And this one's another one that's just gonna take a long time, but eventually you're gonna get there. If you're having trouble, just make sure you're playing on the easier difficulties, and you'll be good to go. Next up, Best of the Best. Reach level 10 with 18 different operators, so that's every operator in the game so far, at least on launch day, and level 10 is maxing them out, so this one's going to take a pretty long time, I would imagine. Just make sure you're getting in some playtime across all the operators, not just focusing on one, and eventually you're going to get there. This one might be one of the longer challenges on this list, however, so... Next up is Decluttering. Kill 150 spores. So the spores are the little yellow things that attach to you and your teammates, and they blow up after a certain time. So just make sure you and your teammates are calling out when the spores attach to you. You'll have like a yellow cloudy thing on the side of your screen, and you need to make sure you're getting them off your teammate and they're getting them off you. And this one should happen in no time because the spores are normally in clumps of 3 to 5, so just make sure you're being a team player. You'll be all good with the spores challenges. Next up is Unflinching. Complete the objective on the 3rd submap or further on 5 incursions without falling down but not out. So basically you just need to get to the 3rd subzone in 5 incursions and complete the objective without dying. So should be pretty easy. If you're having trouble with that one, just make sure you're putting the game on easier difficulty as well. There'll be no issue for you guys. Next up, interact with 10 discovery points in each region. Don't exactly know what this one means, but I would imagine these are kind of like lore. I know like one map, for instance, has a vial, which is supposed to be where the whole alien outbreak came from, and maybe there's some way you can interact with these like lore items and so forth, and so you'll just need to find 10 of these. I'll make sure to update you guys on this when I find out more about what it means, and maybe I'll even make a video on how to find all of the discovery points in the game. So next up, kill 15 smashers. These are the humongous kind of like mini boss type enemies. All you're gonna need to do is throw a stun grenade, probably will be the easiest way, and you just run behind them and melee them, and it's gonna do a takedown animation. So just stay diligent with this and it'll happen eventually, and make sure you're killing them with takedowns, not gunfire. Next up, extract from an incursion at 50% health or above after completing all objectives. Should be super easy for you guys. Just make sure you're playing passive and stealthy. And if you're having trouble with your health, just put the game on easier difficulty and run one super easy mission. And make sure you have above 50% health at the end. Next up, complete all region studies in Alaska. I assume this means just to do all the missions. So there's 3 places where the missions are in this game, and Alaska is one of them. New York is also one, and I forget the last one, but basically just do all 3 missions in Alaska, and I'm pretty sure that's what that means. So next up, earn 35,000 score in a single incursion. Basically you're just going to put the game on a super high difficulty, probably the highest, play super stealthy, grab some friends, and make sure you extract at the end, because that gives you a 90% XP multiplier. So make sure you're doing that, and you should have no problem getting 35,000 XP. Next up, reach milestone 15. This is just going to happen over time with playing the game, so it should be super easy for you guys. This is the account level once again. Interact with 150 discovery points. Wow, that's a lot. So I'll definitely try to be making a video on this to help you guys out in the future, so stay tuned for that one. Next up, take down 10 breachers or bloaters. So these are the guys that blow up. all you're going to need to do is sneak up behind them and melee them, or you can stun them and melee them. Stun grenade is probably the best method. Next up, earn 10 kills while prone. Basically just lay on the ground fully on your stomach and kill 10 people. Super easy. Next up, scan 10 enemies using react tech. You're going to be able to use any react tech, which are the secondary gadgets that each operator has available. Use any of the ones that can scan for enemies, and once you've scanned 100 enemies, this one's going to complete for you, so should be super easy. Just make sure you're running that as your offhand gadget. Next up, complete all objectives and extract from 3 incursions with only male operators. So just make sure you and your team probably get some guys from Discord or your friends, so you're all playing males, and just complete all the objectives in 3 incursions and extract. Next up, complete all research decks. Not gonna lie, I have absolutely no idea what this means, but we'll probably be making a guide on this too in the future once we find out what a research deck is. Next up, kill 10 caustic goo with explosives. So caustic goo is basically the sprawl that poisons you, I believe, and if you blow it up with like a impact grenade, that's probably the best method for you guys. So next up, take down 100 nests. So walk up to the nests, which are the little alien pod looking things, and melee them, and you'll do a takedown. So make sure you get 100 of those. Next up, enter a singularity. This is where the proteans are. This is going to be more of the endgame activities on the harder difficulties, which is going to be operators that have turned into aliens themselves. You're just going to need to enter the singularity, which will start the boss fight for the protean enemies. Next up, kill 150 enemies with explosive gadgets or abilities. Use impact nades, use your gadgets that explode, use basically anything that blows up, and you guys will be good to go. Reach level 10 with 1 operator. Just max out 1 operator from playing with them consistently, and it's going to happen eventually. Make sure you're extracting as much as possible and not risking your life too much, because this is going to give you that, like I said, 90% bonus XP, so really helpful for leveling up fast. Next up, complete all region studies in Truth or Consequences. We don't really know what this is yet, but I'll make a video on Truth and Consequences when we figure out what it means. Next up, dizzying, stun 50 enemies. Make sure to run stun grenade and just chuck them at enemies whenever you see them, and this will be a super quick challenge for you guys. Next up, complete all region studies in New York. You're going to need to do all 3 missions in New York and complete them. Next up, complete all region studies in San Francisco. Aha, that's the 3rd location, so make sure you run all 3 missions in San Francisco and complete them. Next up, complete all objectives and extract from 3 incursions with only female operators. Once again, make sure you get you and your buddies together and just make sure you're running all females and do 3 missions and you'll be good to go. Next up, enter an incursion with a non-default weapon equipped. As you use operators and level them up, you're going to gain access to 2 new weapons. Each operator has 3 total. You're just going to need to equip the 2nd or 3rd weapon you unlock and run an incursion, so super easy. In this game, when your operator dies, it gets kind of trapped by the Archaeans, like kidnapped, and it won't be available for you to use anymore. But once you go back into that mission as a different operator, you'll be able to rescue the operator you lost, so that's what this means here. And you're going to need to rescue 3 operators that are missing in action, so save 3 of your guys and you'll be good to go. Final 2 here. Revive 15 allies from down but not out. When your teammates go down, make sure you revive them. Doc would be super good for this because you can just shoot them with the stem pistol and they'll get right back up. And next up, harvest, kill 50 sowers, and these are basically the Left 4 Dead screamer enemies in the game. You can only shoot them in the head, and if you don't kill them, they scream and alert all the enemies around you, so just make sure you're killing these guys as much as possible. And you guys should be good. So that's all of the challenges in the game, and you guys are gonna be able to 100% Rainbow Six Extraction. Like I said, for the few challenges that we don't know what they mean, I'll make sure to make videos and update you guys in the future on how you can complete those. And once again, please drop a like, comment, and subscribe if you don't mind. It helps channels like this one grow. And I hope to see you all in the future.